Hi there, Chris from TotallyEV, and here I'm doing a dedicated audio review of the BYD Seal U DM-i. If you want a detailed review of the vehicle itself, make sure you check it up on your pop-up banner or by following the links down in the description below, or of course the pinned comments. Now to kick things off, we have to talk about its audio configuration. And as standard, at least at the time of filming and in the UK, all trims have got the 10-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, or the Infinity system to be more specific. Now here, each of the doors have got a woofer and a tweeter, and then you have also got a center driver and then a side-mounted subwoofer in the boot. Total wattage has not currently been shared with me, but if I have extra information, I'll make sure I'll pop it down in the description below or as a note on the video. Now for you to tinker around with the audio drivers, you'll want to navigate on the infotainment system. And here via the 15.6-inch rotatable display, you've actually got a multi-band EQ, which is very much appreciated. In my case, I have added 1 notch to the mid-range and 4 notches to treble, but then taken 3 notches off the bass EQ. And I'll touch upon why further down in this video. Aside from this, the sound field balance, in other words, the fader and the balance itself, I have left it at all, or in other words, cabin. Now for you to connect up to the infotainment system, you have got Bluetooth, but the lowest quality SPC codec is supported only. Thankfully, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are supported over a wired and wireless transmission, therefore giving you higher audio fidelity, at least if you want to use music that is stored on your phone, or of course if you want to use some of your favorite music streaming apps. This is certainly appreciated, but of course if you just want to listen to the radio, you can do that as well, where you've got DAB. Aside from this, you have also got USB playback, thanks to the fact that you've got a micro SD card slot, which can be found underneath the center console, and that's actually quite a rarity in modern vehicles, so it's nice to see that BYD have still thought about this, allowing you to play even a higher quality video files and also music files. Moving swiftly on, we get onto cabin noise, and here the objective measurements will be on your screen. Now, for those who are subscribed, you'll know that at the lower speeds, the vehicle doesn't perform as well as some of its competitors. And indeed, subjectively, I can say that is the case. Here you can hear a little bit of road noise creeping in from the tires, and there's a little bit of low-end resonance that can be heard. It wasn't actually picked up by my sound meter, but I could definitely feel it within the cabin and also hear it. Nonetheless, it's not too bad across the board and doesn't do too badly when you're on the motorway, but just some food for thought if you're comparing and contrasting with some rival alternatives. Now with all that in mind, let's get on to an audio demo. I'll be placing the camera and the microphone in 4 separate locations within the cabin and playing back a track. It's from Priya J and it's titled Like Me. Now, I appreciate an audio demo isn't quite ideal, but I thought to provide it as it gives you a bit of a taster as to what to expect. Now, in terms of my own subjective opinion, I'll say that the sound that you are getting within the vehicle is actually pretty hearty and very bass orientated. Now let me explain. First off, in terms of the sub-bass tones, in other words that low-end rumble that you might come to expect in certain tracks, well, it's certainly there thanks to the fact you've got a side-mounted subwoofer in the boot. It does a tremendous job in this department and actually does compete with some vehicles that come in at a much steeper price tag. Now, in terms of the mid-bass, it's very much in your face. In my case, I actually had to reduce it by 3 notches via the bass EQ through the infotainment system because I just felt it was too overpowering. The woofers that I found within each of the 4 doors actually do a pretty good job of giving you that hearty slam. Now, while it is very much appreciated for bass heads or those people who listen to a lot of bass-orientated music, it will come as a disappointment to those people who want a bit more vocal clarity, because the overall mid-range is severely affected. Indeed, it's pretty pushed back and V-shaped. Now, you might be quick to say, why didn't you add several notches via the mid-range EQ via the infotainment system in order to counteract that? Well, simply put, if I was adding any more than one notch via the mid-range EQ, it would take away from the vocal accuracy, therefore meaning that it just felt a little bit odd and veiled sounding. So as a result, I just had to accept that it has got a V-shaped sound signature, and therefore the overall vocal clarity of this vehicle isn't exactly the best. Now, as for the highs, they do actually extend pretty well at the top end, although they do sound a little bit rolled off, both at the front and rear of the cabin. It's good to see you have got those dedicated tweeters, so therefore it's not just the people who are sat in the front that will be able to enjoy that sort of toe tapping feeling. Now, in terms of the overall soundstage reproduction, the instrument separation is certainly there. That's in part thanks to the fact that you've got 9 audio drivers within the cabin. As a reminder, the 10th is the subwoofer in the boot. And yes, that central speaker that's found within the dashboard adds to the overall dynamism of the vehicle. Although it does still feel a little bit of a lacking of width and depth. But in the grander scheme of things, and for a vehicle of its price point, I've got no real complaints. Now, on the whole, what I'm trying to convey over here is that the audio system that's come as standard within the BYD Seal U DM-i actually does perform well across the sound frequency range, and as a result gets our Performance Audio Award. Now, of course, it's not going to compete with more premium audio systems out there on the market and could have been bettered by a little bit better vocal clarity, but on the whole, I've actually been left pretty impressed. Now, I'd be curious to know what you make of it down in the comment section below and how you feel it compares with some of the other audio systems out there on the market. If you have enjoyed this detailed independent review, definitely do consider dropping a like, subscribing and hitting that bell notification, all of which would be greatly appreciated. As such, I've been Chris from TotallyEV and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.